All right. Welcome back. Episode 99.
Yes, sir.
Scarlet and Blue Show.
Free look out now. The sideline. Forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh, my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. One more. He's gone. Touchdown. No flag.
Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins.
Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa. Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again. The down.
All right. Stock the bar. Let's kick it off with that. Go get yours. Delicious vodka, smooth taste with a purpose. Go get yours at stockdabar.com. STOCKDABAR.com. If you haven't tried it yet, it's really good, folks. Give it a try.
It's one of the better vodkas I've had. And I'm not, like I've told you, dude, I'm not a big vodka person, but I like that. It goes good with my Bloody Marys on Saturdays.
All right, let's kick it off. We'll dive in Michigan here. I'm so frustrated. If we didn't have the Sailors of South Christian with the huge upset. Shout out Sailors knocking off one of the top teams in the state.
Number one in D4.
Is that? Did you look that up? Was Unity number one in D4?
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. That was an incredible win. Incredible.
Way the anchor.
Yep, that salvaged my day. And then of course Michigan basketball threw one away today as well.
Yeah, saw
and
that.
Folks, if you don't know, Michigan basketball is my number 2 favorite team. I don't even know what my number 3 is, but they're like the Cowboys to Garrison, and they just laid a dud. But that's right, Dusty May's got him on the right track.
Please don't cuss on this show saying Cowboys. I don't want to talk about them.
Is
so
that
bad.
game still
They're
going?
So bad. I don't know. I don't watch the Cowboys. I really don't. I stopped after
No,
game 3.
You can't do that, Garrison.
No,
you gotta ride.
I pay attention. I watch the highlights as much as I can of whatever highlights we have. But I'm not gonna. No, listen.
All right, 30 seconds to explain yourself, because
these guys haven't won a championship since 4 months before I was born. I am done. I'm not done with them. But man, I just can't do it. My owner, he's spending stupid money on stupid people because he wants to get one before he goes. I have a quarterback that I've been trying to get rid of myself for 6 years, and that guy is just somehow robbing us. We suck.
So that because you guys are so bad, you're not going to watch and support the boys on Sundays, watching them.
I watch the highlights.
Dude, that's...
But it brings me depression. Why would I freely give myself depression? Like, who does it? Like, what?
Because that's your team. That's your team. You ride with them.
I'm not going back to a woman that continuously breaks my heart.
Okay, so if they turn around next year, then...
Damn, girl, you look good.
Yeah, that's disappointing. That's it's Buckeye fanhood for you, man. You guys have had it good for so long.
This is a Garrison thing. It's a Garrison thing. I just can't. I gave you 30 seconds. That was 30 seconds.
Okay, all right.
Let's go off of them. This is a college show.
That's disappointing, but
yeah, they are disappointing.
They are disappointing. Speaking of disappointing, I predicted we would win that game yesterday. And then up until the end, I thought we would. And I can't believe this team could be 7-3, 8-2 right now. And they don't. And the guys play like the guys haven't sat out. They haven't given it up. Like they just There's multi-million-dollar signing bonuses waiting for some of these guys. And Sam Webb reported today that, or maybe it was last night, I saw there was talk about Will Johnson, and he said he hasn't necessarily sat out, which whatever he decides to do. But God, Kenneth Grant, Mason Grant, they're still playing, and just the coaches are just letting them down. It's so disappointing.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. So we could talk about it. We can talk about the game. There was glimmers of hopes. Like Davis Warren had a good first drive. Defense looked real bad first quarter and then just completely buckled down. I mean, Indiana's they were averaging close to 35 points a game.
Yeah.
And just completely confused them, stifled their offense. And then even at the end, we can talk about Sherrone more. We can talk about I know you want to talk about that. Talk about his lack of timeouts there. I don't think that would have mattered because then let's say you call timeout right away. We get the stop. Maybe we get the ball back with 45 seconds. Garrison, there is no chance on God's beautiful green earth that we're driving down the field and scoring a touchdown.
Yeah. And I'm still here, buddy. I'm still here. I'm listening to you.
Where did you go?
I was going to grab something. Sorry, just sorry, I just needed my little notebook.
Hey, come prepared, all right?
No, I'm sorry. Just want to make sure I had this list of things. That's all.
Okay. So disappointed in that. Kurt Campbell's got to go. That's it. That's just, it's unacceptable, the play calling, the lack of creativity. Wide receivers actually looked decent today, or yesterday.
Yeah.
But some of this play calling, deciding to run on it's like you're running on 3rd and 7, which you would assume, all right, that's setting up for you to go for it on 4th down, and then you don't go for it on 4th down. It's just like we've seen this all season. We've seen lack of preparation, lack of coaching. We've seen guys out scheme us, other coaches. It's things that Jim Harbaugh and his staff didn't have. And
for the last 3 years.
For the last, yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, you guys got out schemed plenty of games and before that. But I'm just saying. That's all
right. I mean,
continue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Fine.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so it's just frustrating. So I'll say this. I know you'll disagree, but I'm gonna say it. I still like Sherrone. I think he's clearly got some learning experiences from him from these games. Here's what I imagine happened on the headset. Guys were talking about taking the timeout, and they were probably all debating it. Sherrone, you're the head coach.
It takes 28 seconds to debate that.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there was conversation. Like, oh, we could go. And he's probably letting everybody talk. And it's just like, no, dude, you're the head coach, man. This is on you. You got to make that call. And he screwed up. But again, I don't think it really mattered because I don't think we would have scored anyways. But you got to make that call. And then there's just the offensive side. I honestly think the defense. I think the defense is solid. Again, I don't want a lot of people want to hate on Wink, but I think he's shown himself. And then when your offense is doing absolutely nothing all game long, there's only so much you can do. Plus the injuries we had over the last couple weeks. Frustrating day.
Tyler Warren. I'm sorry, not Tyler Warren. Davis Warren. 21.6 QB quarterback rating. 4.3 per. None of your running backs eclipsed over 3 yards a carry. In fact, your team averaged 2 yards per carry, 34 rushing attempts, 69 yards. He was 50% passing, 16 for 32 for 137. So you guys just barely broke 206 yards. For some odd reason, he still thinks it's valuable to put Alex Orji in the game.
And he's not letting him throw. So
he can't. Yeah. So, well,
he's not letting him make a read on an option.
But I mean, now that we're here, months ago, when I told you they don't trust him to throw the ball, I think it's clear as day. They do not trust him to throw the ball. Yeah, they're not even doing reads. They brought him in to do a halfback dive. Wow, Davis Warren, even though he didn't play great, was the best outside of Colson. Was the best player on that offense that day. Second best on that day for you guys. For what reason do you have to take him off the field? Just to put Alex Orji in and do a play that's not going to work. Then you run a QB dive with him, didn't work.
Fumbled. Turned the ball over.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, he's not a dynamic runner. He's a freak athlete. He's not a dynamic runner. He's not shifty. He doesn't move like this. He's just not that. Your offensive line got manhandled, completely manhandled. I mean, you've known how I felt about your O-line since April. They're just not good. They're not.
Yeah, we lost Giovanni Al-Hadid.
Yeah, but this is nothing new. This is something that's been, quite frankly, going on all year. And now you go against Indiana, who everyone asks who they played, and as I told you, I don't care about that conversation anymore, because sometimes you can just see it on the field, and not sometimes. Usually you can, more times than not. Those guys, I think, were ranked second in the nation in rush defense. Boy, did they show it.
Yeah.
Boy, did IU do that. And for IU, I mean, negative yards in the third quarter for them to come out and still be able to finish that game. I was talking to Justin from Voice College Football Nebraska. I said, no, this is just like Ohio State versus Nebraska. Really good teams, even when they don't play good and they probably should lose, they win the game. That's what really good teams do. And I was very impressed by Indiana.
Oh, you tweeted you're going to stomp them, so I assume that means you're not impressed.
No, I'm impressed. No, I'm impressed by the resiliency in this game. That's what I'm impressed by. No, in watching that game, yeah, I think we're going to stomp them. I think they'll be probably in the game for a half. And listen, maybe if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But from what I see on the field,
sure,
we're going to stomp them. Sherrone Moore said, Coach Sherrone Moore said that the reason Mullings wasn't in the game as much is because he was feeding the hot hand and going by what he saw in practice. He has been the best running back on this team this year.
Facts.
Stats would say so and play would say so. Yes, the last 2 games he didn't do so well, but that's also just a lack of carries. A lot of guys he's RB1, so a lot of guys are closing in. When they see him, they understand that when Donovan's in the game, it's probably more likely to be a pass than when he's in the game. So I think that's just what that happens. But like I said, I think he's one of those guys you got to just keep giving the ball to, because he's big. He knows how to run behind his pads, and eventually you're going to get tired of tackling him. Eventually some teams are going to get tired. That doesn't mean you're going to win, but he's a big man. So I didn't get that. I just, and then like you already brought up, I'm being long here, but you already brought up what he the challenge. I have it pulled up right here. Where I just saw it. Excuse me. He's on that challenge for targeting on Alex Orji, he said, gotten the word buzzing down, that the knee would have been down, and so I want to challenge it again, fight for my kids. So that's what it was. Fighting for your kids is not a reason to use that challenge. It's just not. It's just not. Another quote from him on the timeout. Just like you said, just talking about conversations of what the play call was gonna be, what we're gonna do, and that's where that came from. Dude, how about you call the timeout and then talk about that?
Yes.
What that leads me to is, and I truly do say this with all due respect. I think it's insane to think that you have belief in him. That guy is not a big time college football head coach, and he has no business being the signal caller of a program, the chief and president of a program like the University of Michigan. He has no place there. And you can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his how he walks, his mannerisms, how he talks, his body language on the sideline. You can see it all. He is not built for a job like this. He doesn't have the shoulders to carry this job. And he doesn't have the shoulders he doesn't have the chops to lead a program like this to the motherland. I just don't see how you can, from what we heard from the offseason and all that to where we come to. We have a plan for Alex Georgia where it clearly looked like it didn't. To Dominant where it's still coming out every single week as RB1. To things like this over the past 2 weeks. And on top of that, you're the one who hired this staff. You picked your coordinators. This falls on him. And I want to hear about the situation he was left. I don't care about any of that. Going from 15-0 to 5-5 is crazy, but in the middle of November is crazy.
Agreed.
This is gonna end up as one of the behind LSU after the going, which probably doesn't. I mean, this is behind LSU, and this was 20 because they won in 2019, so 2020 the COVID year. This is gonna be the worst season a championship. A championship winner has ever had. Coming off the championship, it's gonna be the worst one we've ever seen.
Yeah. So yeah. Fair points. I mean, there's not a ton I can say here. A couple things to it though. One, boy, it'd be interesting to see if Harbaugh stuck around, kept his staff, how much things would be different. I think they'd be significantly different. And I think that then, because of that, I think that then goes into, yes, Moore's got some growing to do. And so to your point, to acknowledge what you're saying, does he have the chops for it? I will respond to that and say, I think he can. I think he will. I think he got this job too soon because look at Ryan Day. We've talked about it. Ryan Day's been coaching for a long time. Before he took the head coach job, he coached for a long time. And I'm not here to compare the two because of different circumstances. Sure.
No, but he's an NFL guy.
He has NFL experience. More the best thing on Moore's resume is you're with Harbaugh for that long. But you can only get so much of that. And there's only so many football experiences you can deal with in that shorter amount of time compared to a lot of these other guys. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, I don't know if he doesn't have the chops for it. I don't know if he doesn't have the shoulders to put a program on. I think he's still ripe and still, or maybe not ripe, that's not the right word, but raw and still needs to figure this out. And so he's got to find a new offense coordinator. He's got to find an offense coordinator. Here's the thing. I was thinking about this a lot today. Jim Harbaugh decided in 2021 to change his identity. And we're going to smash the ball. So the offense coordinator is almost like, hey, can you just follow the system? I don't know. Evidently, Sherrone doesn't want to do that because he's kind of pulled away from the running game and the emphasis on the run in a lot of ways. And when you don't have a quarterback you can develop, then you don't even have the threat of passing the ball. Then it's going to be even harder to run the ball. So JJ's gone. I get that. Now you don't have him, but there should be something in place. And so he's either got to figure out like, all right, we got to go back to that and just figure out how to go back to that system, or you bring in a savvy offense coordinator who let him call the shots. Maybe he's a little bit older and let him lead the show, because what I do think Moore can be really good at is the player type guy, does well to players. I think he's clearly put much more of an emphasis on recruiting than Harbaugh ever did. And we talked about that ad nauseum.
Yeah.
But it's partially why we're in this situation, because Harbaugh did the whole thing with the NFL and didn't always have the focus on recruiting. He should do a freaking signing with the stars event when he first came on. It was this whole thing he did that, like, it was a full event for recruits on signing day. And he just stopped doing that. And I get the pressure was on him, so he had to stop doing some of that stuff. He stopped doing his podcast and all that. But I don't know. All that to say, I'm blabbering on. I think, yeah, big changes have to come, because Sherrone Moore has not shown he's ready for this yet. Because you're not taking over in moments you need to take over. You're not calling the shots. You're clearly not taking the play call lean away from Kirk Campbell. And then, yeah, Kirk Campbell, that's another story. Like, that guy, you had your shot, man. You blew it. You just blew it. Well, I don't know what you could have been, but you blew it. It's over. It's done. Like, it's ridiculous. All right, go ahead.
No, and just another thing. I mean, I said to you before, a lot of fans want to give Sherrone Moore the credit for those last 3 wins last year. And I was one of the people that kept on saying, I mean, dude, we can't act like Jim Harbaugh's in there Sunday through Friday prepping this team. Like, and they already said it was a player-led team even before that. So that's why I've always questioned him. I could never understand why he was given so much credit. And I understand why Michigan fans wanted to do so.
Yeah. Yep.
But at the same time, I think sometimes people need to. I've said the same thing about Luke Fickell. I don't think he is a big time college football coach. I don't.
I don't remember you saying that, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've told people on X this. I've told them. I said, hey, no. I said some big team rivalry with Cliff and Mack. That's where I said it. And I just everyone says, well, there's suspensions and all that in 2011. But I said, well, no, but Ohio State still had more talent than everyone else in the Big Ten, and it wasn't even close.
That's a fair point, yeah.
And he still found a way to go 6-7.
That's a good comparison.
And that's why I feel like he is. And the thing is, I can't even say he's as good as Luke Fickell, because Luke Fickell, even though he was at Cincinnati, man, we saw him have a lot of success. Guy got to the playoffs. And then, I mean, people remember that Cincinnati Georgia game. It wasn't like Cincinnati didn't have a chance. So,
yeah.
I just.
Yeah. So you guys, back at that year, you lost to Miami, lost to Michigan State, Nebraska, Purdue, Penn State, Michigan in 2011.
And that Michigan game, we should have won. Braxton couldn't help but overthrow everybody. We should have won that game.
That's right. You had Braxton Miller as your quarterback at that
freshman year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It's unacceptable to go. I mean, God, Lord willing, to go 6-6. Should be able to beat Northwestern, and then.
and just want to read this out. Just want to read this out. Ryan Day got his 5th loss in his 4th season in week 13. Sherrone Moore has it in 1 season.
Sorry, Michigan fans. I have no witty response to that.
1 season.
I can come up with witty responses, but I can't come up with anything there.
I haven't seen 5 losses since the Luke Fickell here.
I wanted. Dang it! What was I gonna say? So I gotta write things down. I can't remember. So that's why it's wildly frustrating. It's so frustrating. I just can't believe that. Yeah. All right. Whatever. We're done with this. We got a bye week. We got Northwestern, and we're gonna spoil your guys' season. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Michigan fans. So Twitter. There's Garrison. There's a handful of people. I'm talking about Michigan fans and Twitter accounts and stuff. There's only a small handful of people I take seriously on that app now. Now we're seeing some true colors coming out here. I'm seeing Michigan fans coming out saying, I didn't even watch the game. Like during the game, like I turned it off. I'm watching something else.
The Indiana one?
Yeah. It's like the second quarter.
It's a bad product.
Garrison, but see, this is your problem, man. This is fair weather fandom.
If you get a burger, you gotta
be in these moments, and that makes those moments on January 11th last year tear jerking. So all of you fake fans.
Okay, let's say you were going to your favorite steakhouse, right? It's like you love this. You love this steakhouse more than any other restaurant you would go to.
Okay.
I'm guessing you get yours medium rare.
Yep.
And this one time, the steak comes out well done. Are you going to eat it, or are you going to, or just send it back and ask for a new one?
It's well done. Like there's not even a little bit of pink.
It's well done. It's well done, Bryce.
Yeah, I would call it out and ask for another.
Okay.
Okay, so how does that relate to this?
I said it's your favorite steakhouse. Michigan's your favorite team. You get that steak. Michigan, the football team, is the steak. It doesn't come out medium rare like last year perfectly. It comes out well done like they are this year. They're cooked. That's a cooked team.
So you're
and
saying
you would send that back in the same way these fans do not. They say, no, send that back over there. We're not watching that. It's the same thing.
Okay. All right, I see what you're saying.
That's a great analogy.
No, no. The analogy would work better if I were to get up and just walk out of the steakhouse and never come back, and then
No.
When you
These
tell
fans
me
will come back. These fans will come back. They're just sending that.
That's what I'm saying. Don't come
away.
back. Don't come back. This guy has no time for you. So when I saw that, I didn't mute, didn't unfollow, didn't block. I just said, all right, I got no time for you.
Dude,
I got no time for
wrong?
that. Don't be Garrison and the Cowboys.
No, you can't. There's nothing wrong being a Steve Deese.
Because when the Cowboys win the Super Bowl,
mm-hmm.
which I hope that never happens, but when they do in 3 years,
I'll be worse than Ohio State winning a championship.
Oh, I'm not gonna take you seriously. Then if this is how you're gonna approach the down years like this,
that's fine.
Hey, that's fine.
I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everyone else when it comes to Ohio State. I don't care if these other fans think how I feel about my team.
You don't care if what?
I don't care how you feel about my team, and I don't care about how you feel about my fandom.
Okay,
I'm not gonna put myself through depression. That's craziness,
dude. That's
the only thing I'm
spoiled fan.
The only team that can ever put me through that type of grief that I'll continue to watch is Ohio State football. Like the Pistons. You think I'm gonna keep watching the Pistons? Stop.
Yeah, but you're not a Pistons fan.
Yes, I am.
You are an Ohio State fan. You're not a Pistons fan like you're a Dallas Cowboys fan.
No, but I love the Pistons. Well, I don't want to say this too long. I love the Pistons, but I can't watch a bad product.
Yeah, but I'm saying if it's your team and you're a fan and it's your primary team, it's your main team, that's where your fandom lies.
The Cowboys are my second team, so they're my primary.
Yeah, okay, and I'm saying for a lot of these guys on
okay.
It's their primary.
Okay.
So GTFO. You can keep talking. That's fine. I'm not here to silence anybody. But I'm not gonna take you seriously.
I like the love. Sorry.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Wait, what did I say?
You heard. You folks. YouTube has a rewind feature. All right. Anything else in Indiana, or else we're gonna talk about Dillon Riches?
No, the 10-0. That's cool. Let's go to Dillon.
Our lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
By the way, good back and forth on, I think, good conversation on Sherrone more. I'd love to hear what people have to say about that. Does he not have the chops for it, or did he get hired too early, or is there another reason? That's good.
We'll put a poll out.
All right. Can we just kick this out? I mean, you guys, okay, let's start with this. We nailed it. The under. Got a little dicey there at the end.
Yeah, we did.
I felt good about that one. I put some money down for that one, and that paid off nicely. So there's that. And then before you go and share what you need to share, the Gus Johnson call on the scoop and score. Oh my gosh. Did you see that?
Well, it's not even just this game. Like, if you watch the Penn State game, like when Penn State took the lead on that pick six, well, they already had the lead, but they had that pick six. He was all excited that we took the lead back. Look, like Gus. And a lot of, like Darren was like, what, you guys are crying? I'm like, no, it's not that, dude. It's just like, you have a job to do. Actually, I'll make it personal. There was a game Bryce and I were calling, and he said something like he said something about the game still being close or whatever, and I just kind of backed up and looked at him in the booth. He said, "Hey man, we gotta keep exciting." And I thought about it. I go, "You're right. He's right about that." So if Bryce and I know this at the level of high school football, I would think that Gus Johnson on Big Noon Kickoff would know the same. And so yeah, that's all it is.
So there's rumors swirling that Gus doesn't like y'all?
I don't know. He loves Jesse Owens. I don't. That's why he calls us the world famous. So I don't know.
I was gonna say he always says the Ohio State. He does all that.
But he sounded like he was. And listen, I get it. It's not a fun game to watch. Do your job.
Yeah, I would agree. I felt almost, and it wasn't like it was. Jeremiah Smith blows by the defensive back to go up 49-0. Like, it was a scoop and score. That's a pretty exciting play. It's still just monotone as all get out. All right, go ahead.
So, since we're talking about Ohio State, first I'll give the announcement since you reminded me to do so because I forgot to last week. But everyone, I will still be here. I have people asking me down on X, and I will never leave this channel. This is my baby with Bryce. Pause. So, but no. So, but I will in a couple weeks here in 2 weeks, I will be joining the Voice of College Football for Ohio State. Very excited about it. Still going through some of the figure out who else I'll be will be my co-host on that. But yeah, very excited to do that. Very excited to get in touch with more of the Buckeye community, and look forward to seeing you there. Now, with that being said, 45-0. We were correct on the under. Will Howard, 21 of 26, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Gonna get back to him in a little bit here. Henderson, man, had 85 yards, averaged 14.2 a carry. Wow. Just wow. And he only had a long of 29, so it's not like he got it all like off of 50 yards, so I was really impressed by him. He ran very hard. Quinshon had a difficult day, but usually it's been one guy's hot, one guy's not. His stats don't look as good because he did lose like 8 yards on 1 carry on the sweep from the slots position. But I mean, outside of that, I wasn't upset with his run game. Jeremiah, congrats. Now owns the freshman records that he broke from Chris Carter, receptions, touchdowns, and yards. Wow. I mean, 6 for 87, 14.5 touchdown in this game. Very impressed by that young man. The kid is crazy. He's NFL ready. Like he is.
Yes. Ridiculous.
But it's amazing just seeing him as a player. He's humble. He says the right things too. He's just the kid's perfect. We have force. Go ahead.
Real quick, going back to one guy you mentioned, your Mikey Sanders still, that's Travion Henderson to me. I want to hate that guy. I want to dislike him, and I can't. He is such a good, I'll start with this. Such a great running back. I think the guy runs so hard, and he is one of the lower shoulder, but it can also beat you in a sprint. And then just his attitude and firing guys up too. And this is all while giving up reps. Like he should be getting, I don't know how many carries he got last week, but he should be getting 15 to 20 carries a game, if not way more.
Him and Quinshon.
Yeah, I think he's better than Quinshon. That's not even a knock on Quinshon, but I just think he would be potentially in the Heisman conversation if they focus it on him. And he just says, "Hey, I'm all about the team."
It's crazy because neither one of them have gone over 15 carries this year in a game.
Is that really? That's nuts. Jeez.
Neither one of them have. I mean, Quinshon averaged he had 163 carries his freshman and sophomore year, averaging 18 a game. Now he averages 11. Yards per carry has gone up. Like I said, they would. I said people forget Ohio State's offensive line has been better than Ole Miss's. It has been. So he's gonna play better, and he is. Speaking of the offensive line, another game that we would go for 170 yards. Moving Carson Hinsman over to left guard is in Donovan Jackson, the left tackle, out of necessity. Wow, does this offensive line look good right now? Wow, do they ever? We have 4 sacks in this game. JT forced a fumble. Sawyer took it back. Love seeing those two make plays. 2 of 3 on 4th down. Ryan Day does not care anymore on 4th down. He does not care anymore. He will do it if it's in the right position and it's a yard. He's going for it, and I love to see that. A few names: C.J. Hicks. Now, after the game, there was a video of him saying, that they're asking him about the game, and the only thing that comes out of his mouth is him saying, They need to put me on edge. And I've been saying he's probably going to be better as an edge rusher. He would be. But, I mean, at middle linebacker, He can't trust his eyes. He's not being good. He's not good at tackling as of right now. He's not good at tackling. He's not playing sideline to sideline. He doesn't have good gap integrity. Can't cover, and it sucks because he's an Ohio kid, number 1 linebacker out of high school, but you can't play him. Can't play him. I tweeted out I'd rather see Gabe Powers play than him, because whenever Gabe Powers gets on the field, whether that be who's on the field with him, the kid, he pops. He does. So I think he has a pick 6 this year actually. So good to see that. Secondary played very well. We got to see Edric Houston, true freshman. Had that little mental hiccup where he got that we get a stop on 3rd down and he gets flagged for unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm sorry, but okay, you got that out the way now, kid, and they put him back on the next drive. He's going to be a great player for Ohio State, and at the fact that they decided to bring him in now, and remember, McDonald came in the game for Tyler Williams last week and played really well. They started Edric Houston in this game. It did look like both of our coordinators are like, we're going to win this game. Who gives a damn? Let's just see what we can do. We saw the jack position come out in this game. Didn't really like it. But, it's a new look, and it's good to try it out. But, overall, I'm happy with the performance and on to Wrigley Field.
And that's right. You guys don't have a bye. Yeah. So are you going to go to that game? You should go to that game.
I do. Dude, I looked up $95.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not. I mean, quick trip. I'll think about it. All right.
Yeah.
And I love Chicago. If I do go, you want me to bring back some Garrett's popcorn?
No. So I used to live there, Garrison. There's a burrito place. I don't even know if it's still there. Angela's Burrito. It is. I mean, it's this big. Pause. And they put French fries, get California.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you all this. You have to go there.
Do it. Al Cheval.
Al Cheval, best burger I've ever had.
I remember we went there for your bachelor party. That was us.
Yeah.
We went to Small Cheval, but wow, that was so good.
So good.
Good times.
Good times.
But yeah, man. Well, anything you want to say about Ohio State? Anything you saw?
No, just the stuff about Travion.
And
Gus.
Oh, Will Howard. Now, I want to share this. This is from Mr. Ohio. Great page. If you don't follow him, I'm sure most, if not all of the Buckeye Nation does. But I want to show this to you. If you don't mind. Allow, of course. Will Howard through 9 games, 22 passing touchdowns. Dillon Gabriel through 10 games, 22. 6 rushing touchdowns for Will. 6 for him, 5 each. And then look at the Heisman odds. And I think
it's got to be the competition you played.
Dude, we played the same competition. If not, we played a harder schedule than them.
But he had his worst game against Penn State, and then he had that misstep at the end against.
That was, but he didn't even really play bad against Penn State. It was Nebraska. It was Nebraska he played really bad in.
Well, he had the pick 6 and then the fumble in the end zone.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, he played. Yeah, no, that's fair. But I mean, when you look at the stats, and you see the odds. And let me ask you a question: if Will Howard if we get that field goal off in Eugene, do you think his odds are still better than Dillon Gabriel's, or do you think it's just perception?
I think perception is huge.
Because these guys like what's his nuts and at Georgia can't help but Carson Beck can't help but I was just calling him what's his nuts, but can't help but throw interceptions. He's at what 12 or 13 now. Yeah, I mean, it's all these players, all these quarterbacks that everyone perceives to be better than Will Howard, and I was the one staying on the table saying when Will Howard comes to Ohio State, he's going to play better than he did at Kansas State. I mean, the guy's throwing 74% right now.
Yes. Yeah. I think perception, man.
He was throwing 61 and 59 at Kansas State.
Well, you guys got just oodles of weapons more.
But who was saying that? And I was saying that, and everyone kept questioning it. Everyone.
Fair. I think perception. I think you nailed it. Perception's huge, and that's Cam Ward is way more important to his team, and his Heisman odds just plummeted because they
I'm
lost.
not talking about his. Let's see where Cam Ward is. I get it, dude. They are literally 2021 Ohio State.
That's an interesting comparison.
Where your quarterback, your run game isn't all that, like, it's there. You have talent at running back, but it's not too effective. Your quarterback is your best player. You have good wide receivers, and he's out there winning you games and scoring you points because your defense can't stop a soul.
Yeah. Fair comparison.
Shout out to all you Miami fans. Shout out to all you guys that thought you guys were just gung ho. Shout out to you guys. You guys suck. All right.
They got quiet. All right. Anything else?
Well, what did I put on the?
Oh, fall from this weekend's games.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Just a couple games I want to ask you about. LSU and Alabama. Did you get a chance to look at that at all?
I watched the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, that was the SEC this year is really interesting.
Fascinating.
Because I don't think they have a dominant team. I think now.
Maybe Texas?
Well, yeah, Texas. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. How did I forget about them? Outside of Texas. And I think there's a clear-cut 3 teams this year. I think it's Oregon, Ohio State, and Texas. I think there's a clear-cut 3.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Alabama, LSU was a little like they're on the rise. Alabama goes and stomps them in Death Valley. I did not see that coming. I don't think anybody did. Georgia. Nope. Oh, buddy. That, they got stomped. 28-10. Touchdown in the first quarter, then a field goal in the third. That was and everyone kept asking about who Ohio State has played this year, and it's not. And Ole Miss is a really good. Like, I'm not gonna say really good, but that's a good team. That's a playoffs caliber team, as we all know. And everyone keeps questioning Ohio State. And just think about it. Come Tuesday, Ohio State's going to have a 1-point loss to the number 1 team in the nation, and Penn State's going to get pulled up to number 4. And they're going to have a dominant win over them. And I just want to ask everyone, and please let me know in the comments. Do you believe now? I love 97.1 The Ticket with the Mike Valenti show. They go on there and say they don't think Ohio State's a championship caliber team. Well, tell me who the hell is.
Oh, they said that?
Yeah, tell me who. No. And I've heard other people say that too. Tell me who is.
Yeah,
I love this conversation because I've heard it before, and I'm sitting there saying I'm asking people, well, okay, you see this team do that. They got 2 losses. They keep playing with their food week in and week out. You keep saying, like, who has Ohio State played? Who has Ohio State played?
Yeah, I would agree.
Tell me, man. Like you guys are real funny in the light. A lot of people are real funny in the light.
Georgia's loss wasn't just like a last-second field goal on the road in Oxford. I mean, wasn't that 18-point game? Was it 28-10?
28. They got donkey kicked.
Yeah,
they got curb stomped. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I have this conversation because we won it all last year. God, if we didn't win it last year, it's not be a fun conversation to have. Yeah. But I think you guys are okay. Everyone who's listening, stop listening. Garrison, between you and I.
And I can't wait to see Oregon again. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think you're better than Oregon. Okay, everyone can start listening.
No,
again.
no. Like I told, like, what did I tell you after that game? I said I still think I said I think we're better than that team. I still think we're better than that team.
You went cross country to Autzen that night and lost by 1.
And I don't want to hear
it sucks
about,
for me to say.
Yeah, but I mean, and a lot of Oregon fans or a lot of Oregon fans are going to say, excuse me, that if we see you guys again, we're playing without Gus Johnson. I don't care. We're playing without our first second round left tackle. And
true. That's a great point.
And our other starting tackle. I don't.
It is. Yeah, it's week 11. Can't make excuses with injuries.
In Talladega Nights, when Ricky Bobby was talking to the homeless man in the train, he was telling him about his problems, and the homeless guy goes, "Shut the F up. Everybody got problems. Yeah, Oregon. Everybody's got problems. So what? I can't wait to see them because they're doing a lot of chirping, a lot of talking, and rightfully so. You beat us. You're number 1 team in the nation right now. I get it. But please understand, you're going to have Vasilis again, and it's not going to be in Autzen.
Yep.
It's not going to be in Autzen.
Been Lucas Oil.
And please believe me, we travel better than you.
So if you lose to Indiana, and then Indiana I think has Purdue at the end of the season, probably because it's a rival. So then you wouldn't go to the Big Ten. But yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And I respect Indiana. I really do. I think that's a good team. We're gonna. I think this team is hitting their stride. I think they're hitting their stride.
You got some injuries out of the way, and you've had time to adjust. That's big.
Yeah. And now that this offensive line has seen 2 weeks of success, that does a lot for your mental. This game is 50% mental. It really is. Mm-hmm. And the fact that for 2 weeks straight, our starting offensive line hasn't had a penalty called on them in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's
crazy.
And usually, what team do you think could say that after the fact of the injuries that we've lost on the O-line and the shuffling we've had to do?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
and mind you, I'm popping right now. And then all that talk about Stephen Laughlin, one of the best centers in the country, has an A grade on PFF. Okay, all that talk that we've been hearing, all that chirping, boy, you guys look real funny in the light. We're the number 2 team in the nation. I think as of right now, and we're going to be on Tuesday, and we're the best team in the nation. And I stand by that. If we get proven wrong, it is what it is, and I'll be the first one to come on here and say I was wrong. As of right now, I can't wait to see you, Indiana, and I can't wait to see you. I really can't. I haven't seen Lucas Oil in a long time. I promise we're gonna be very happy to be there. Oh,
fair.
Bryce. You got me talking crazy. You got me talking crazy again, Bryce.
That's the point. That's how we do it here.
Talking crazy again.
All right, we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Here's your picks. Both went 3 and 2.
And by the way, I haven't pointed this out yet. I did take the lead over you, which I'm very happy about.
I know.
Yeah, that Maryland 28.5. I told you. Did you watch that game? They wouldn't. I told you what would happen. You want that team to go away, and they just won't.
They just won't. Yeah, it's infuriating. It's a 21-point game, right? 21. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, 21-point game.
So annoying.
Miami.
Yeah.
That's 2 years in a row they lost to Georgia Tech. They threw 7 passes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's jeez. LSU is one that you lost, but I think that one's interesting for Michigan fans because Bryce Underwood was there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'll say this. I think if you're throwing up the alleged money that we're throwing at him and it hasn't locked him in, if it hasn't locked you in, then I would say this. Like, I don't want someone like that there. Not because the kid doesn't deserve to go chase the money. He should. Go get what you can get. But if things don't go well his first year, who's to say he's not going to transfer the next year? Because, again, do whatever you want, kid. So I just think you got to find the kids that want to be there and then give the money to them. But maybe Michigan's the bottomless pit of money that people think they are, and they can just do this, and this is nothing. But it just feels like an odd thing.
No, and you are the minority, as you found out. But I agree with you. If I found out Ohio State was trying to pay a quarterback $10 million out of high school, And everyone's saying, well, you pay him, which you got to keep him in there, but at what cost?
$10 million doesn't do that, and it's not like we're going after some kid down in Texas either. Like this is a kid out of Michigan, so if he doesn't want to be there with that, and maybe it's already locked down. Maybe he's just doing this visit because it was on the schedule. I don't know.
Right.
Those are details I have no idea. But if it's not, it's just like if that's not going to get you there and lock you in, then what are we doing? So hey, come to Michigan, Bryce.
You guys are shaking that tail feather right now.
Jeez. All right, good stuff. Go Blue.